The Gambler's Ruin Project. Powered by SmartBet AI. English Premier League Round 36 Special. The Gambler's Ruin Project, where the odds get cracked. This episode is AI generated and meant for informational purposes only. Gambling can be addictive. Please bet responsibly. This video is not intended as financial or legal advice, and AI is just one tool of several you should use when evaluating soccer matches. Always consider multiple factors before placing bets.
Welcome back to the Gambler's Ruin Project, powered by SmartBet AI. I'm Anna.
Dominic here.
And I'm Kateryna. Today we've got two weekend Premier League fixtures that caught our eye. Bournemouth versus Aston Villa and Fulham versus Everton. Let's get into it.
First up, we're at Vitality Stadium in Bournemouth on Saturday, May 10th, 2025 at 12 noon EST, 5 p.m. BST. It's absolutely idyllic. 66 degrees Fahrenheit, sunny with zero clouds, east winds at 13 miles per hour, gusting to 33 miles per hour, 44% humidity and a dew point of 42 degrees. There's literally a 0% chance of rain and visibility out to 10 miles. So you're looking at a bone-dry pitch primed for fast, incisive football.
A dry, firm surface and a stiff breeze, perfect for those 50 aerial duels and long diagonal switches. Expect Bournemouth's fullbacks to bomb on with real pace.
Just don't let those gusts send your cross straight out for a throw-in. Could be a wind-assisted clearance both ways.
But it's the absentees reshaping both lineups. On the home side, Dango Ouattara, midfielder, 32 matches, 7 goals, 4 assists, out with other issues, no return date. Hamed Traore, midfielder, sidelined by other until May 10th, so just missing this one. Ryan Christie, forward, groin injury, 29 matches, 2 goals, 3 assists. Back around June 23rd. Enes Unal, forward, cruciate ligament tear, 17 matches, 2 goals, 1 assist. Out until October 18th. Meanwhile, Villa will be without Enzo Baranakea, midfielder, shoulder problem with no clear return date. Lewis Dobbin, forward, muscle injury back June 1st.
That's 4 first-team starters missing for the Cherries and 2 key rotation pieces for Villa. Coaches will have to shuffle the deck, might see academy graduates thrust into the spotlight.
Imagine the team sheet read out, and in midfield, academy debutant number 26. That's baptism by fire.
Exactly. And for Villa, you'll likely see Moreno or Mings drop deeper, and youngsters like McCormick getting a rare start. Could be a real audition for next season's squad planning.
All right, let's unpack the numbers. Our bootstrapped Poisson regression, where we re-sample the underlying data 1,000 times to capture uncertainty, pegs Bournemouth's expected goals at 4.49, with a 95% confidence interval of 1.0, 9.0, and Villa's expected goals at 2.35, with a 95% CI of 0.0, 6.0. Those intervals tell you just how volatile football can be. Bournemouth could pepper the net, or it might grind out a low-scoring affair if things go sideways.
Exactly. And it gets better. We ran our data through 3 different machine learning models and combined them into a stacked prediction. The result were unanimous. All models, including the stacked model, project a home win.
We then fed our data, including the Poisson regression result numbers, into 10,000 Monte Carlo simulations to mirror real-world randomness. Here's what popped out. Home win, 72.05%, draw, 16.20%, away win, 11.75%, and the top scoreline probabilities, 4-2 at 5.26%, then 1-1 at 4.51%, 2 at 4.46%, and even 1-2 at 4.14%. So yes, a 6-goal thriller is on the table, even if it's just a 1 in 20 shot.
6-goal thrillers aren't out of the question. But check out those draw odds. 16% implied versus bookies offering around 18%. Tiny edge there if you fancy the stalemate. Let's layer our bets smartly.
1. Core play Bournemouth to win. At a model probability of 72%, even modest market odds around 1.55 give you positive expected value.
2. Overlay, under 2.5 goals. The books imply about a 50% chance, but our model sees total goals below 3 at only around 20%. That's a juicy overlay for those who think the CI swings tight.
And 3, value layer win to nil on Bournemouth. Given their 72% win chance and strong defensive setup, the extra payout can be worth the small probability of conceding. Now we are going to take a minute to talk about one of today's venues, Vitality Stadium. Originally opened in 1910 as Dean Court, this intimate 11,329-seat ground has witnessed Bournemouth's journey from lower league minnows to Premier League mainstays. Renamed Vitality Stadium in 2016 following a sponsorship deal, it still retains that old-school Dean charm, with stands creeping close to the touchlines and atmosphere that roars every time the Cherries attack. Next up, we're heading to Craven Cottage in leafy Fulham on Saturday, May 10th at 10 a.m. Easter, 3 p.m. BST. It's another picture-perfect afternoon. Sunny skies, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. East winds blowing at 13 miles per hour with gusts to 32 miles per hour. 37% humidity, dew point 40 degrees, and just a 1% chance of precipitation. The pitch will be firm but true. Visibility out to 10 miles. Ideal conditions for crisp passing and set-piece deliveries.
Crucial absentees are already reshuffling both backlines. Fulham will be without Rodrigo Muniz. 31 matches, 8 goals, 1 assist. Out with an unspecified other issue until May 25th. Everton, on the other hand, are missing their defensive rock James Tarkowski. 33 matches, 1 goal, 1 assist. Nursing a thigh injury and not due back until July 14th.
That's 2 first-choice starters down on each side. Fulham's attack loses a big target man, so look for Mitrovic or newcomer Baptiste to lead the line. Meanwhile, Everton's makeshift back four, likely featuring Holgate and Kenny, will be tested on set pieces and crosses into the box.
Set pieces could decide this one. With gusty winds, high floats into the area can either become pinpoint deliveries or gust redirected headaches. Don't be surprised if we see 1 or 2 headed goals from corners. And Everton love to pack the midfield, so expect them to sit deep, soak pressure, and hit on the break. Bernard and Gordon running in behind.
Fulham's manager will be eyeing those half spaces. If he can free up Lucas Piazzon or break with Anoma's box-to-box runs, we might see some goals.
Let's kick off the numbers. Our bootstrapped Poisson regression pins. Fulham's expected goals at 2.08, 95% confidence interval 0 to 5, and Everton's at 1.27, 95% confidence interval 0 to 4. See how wide those intervals are? That volatility tells you anything from a 0-0 stalemate to a 5-3 romp is technically on the table.
We then ran our data through 3 different machine learning models and used a stack ensemble to combine the predictions. All models, Random Forest, XG Boost, MPL Neural Net, and the stacked models all point to a draw. Next, we ran 10,000 Monte Carlo simulations to capture that randomness. Here's the takeaway. Fulham, win, 54.45%, draw, 24.11%, Everton, win, 21.44%, and the top scorelines, 2-1, 9.46%, 1-1, 8.96%, 2-0, 7.32%, 1-0, 6.92%. So the most likely outcome, 2-1 to the hosts, but don't rule out a classic deadlock or a narrow away shock. This is razor thin compared to our Bournemouth match. Fulham edge it at home, but only just. The draw market at 24% implied gives you a little sniff of value if you fancy a punt on stalemate. Alright, let's layer our stakes, keeping that 2% bankroll rule in mind. 1. Core play. Both teams to score. With both sides boasting incisive forwards and shaky centres, BTTS is our high-confidence opener. The Poisson model shows both teams netting in over 2/3 of simulations, and our regression coefficient for BTTS is strongly positive, 1.6229, Z equals 4.785.
2. Cover bet Fulham draw no bet, locks in a refund on a draw while capturing Fulham's slight home edge. Great if this one turns into a gritty scrap.
3. High-risk play correct score 2-1, at odds around 7.0. The 9.46% model probability gives a tasty expected value. Split your 2% like this: 1% on BTTS, 0.7% on Fulham DNB, 0.3% on 2-1. Keeps you hedged if the match goes three-way.
As we bring today's episode to a close, let's take a moment to revisit the highlights. From Bournemouth's high-octane Poisson predictions and Monte Carlo fireworks to the tactical chess match at Craven Cottage, our smart bet AI models have guided us through every twist and turn. Whether you're backing the Cherries to dominate or leaning into both teams to score at Fulham, remember, every number tells a story, but the game itself writes the ending.
That wraps our deep dive on Bournemouth versus Villa and Fulham versus Everton, two fixtures that showed just how beautiful and unpredictable football can be. We saw 72% home win probabilities, we examined those thrilling 4-2 scenarios, and we even dug into set-piece vulnerabilities at Craven Cottage.
And if you've enjoyed our stats over 6-goal thrillers or gut-check correct score punts, just wait until we unpack next week's London derby. But remember, these probabilities are your roadmap, not a GPS lock. Keep your stakes sensible, follow your staking plan, and whatever you do, never chase losses.
Betting should always be fun and in control. If at any point it stops feeling that way, please reach out. In the US, call 1-800-5224-700. In the UK, visit begambleaware.org. You're never alone, and help is always available.
Thanks for tuning in. We love hearing your feedback. Drop us a message on Twitter or Instagram, hit subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss our breakdown of Manchester City versus Wolves and our end-of-season permutations special. All as Anna, Dominic, Kateryna. See you next time on the Gambler's Ruin Project.
Disclaimer: this content is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The predictions and insights provided by the Gambler's Ruin Project, powered by SmartBet AI technology, are generated using statistical models and historical data. These predictions do not guarantee outcomes and should not be considered financial or legal advice. Gambling can be addictive. Please bet responsibly and only wager what you can afford to lose. If you or someone you know is struggling with gambling addiction, seek help from professional support services. Legal notice: this content does not constitute an offer to participate in gambling. The Gambler's Ruin Project does not operate as a bookmaker or betting service and does not encourage gambling. All users are responsible for complying with local laws and regulations regarding sports betting and gambling-related content in their respective jurisdictions. The Gambler's Ruin Project, where the odds get cracked.